Welcome to News with a View, hosted by me, John A. Costa. Today is November 17th, 2025, and the news today is all about the Epstein files and the files being released. Now, this is a backtrack that President Trump had said that he would not do. That, everything that was going to be released was released, and now he has backtracked and has urged the Republicans in the House of Representatives to release it. He also made a caveat, which I don't agree with. I think that was a foolish mistake that President Trump did by saying that he will investigate every Democrat that is on that file. I don't think that was a prudent thing to do. I don't think it's the right thing to do. And of course, legally speaking, that could tarnish because now he has a direct built-in bias to it. So, and I've said before on the show, I will definitely call out when I think something is wrong. I don't care if they're Republicans, I don't care if they're Democrats, liberals, communists, progressives, they're going to be called out on it. I think President Trump was wrong in making the statement that, Democrats will be investigated. No, everyone on that list then theoretically should be investigated if they have not been already. But what the Democrats have now fallen into is, once again, a trap set by Donald Trump, the president. We know everything there is about the Trump relationship with Epstein. It's nothing new. It's been out there since 2008. If there was anything on those emails or texts or witnesses coming forward that could be cooperated and moved along towards a criminal or civil charge, it would have been leaked out by someone a long time ago. But what is now contained in those files is messages that Epstein sent to the Obama White House and emails, and not directly to Obama himself, but to his administration. And you know that if it went to the people that they're saying it went to, that was the inner circle. Now, we don't know why. It could have been, hey, if I give you this, you let me walk over here. We don't know that. If we give you Trump, but Trump wasn't a player so much in it in that time. By the time 2015 and 2014 came about, Trump. They should have guessed that Trump was going to run. But at that point, they could have squashed it, and they tried to squash it. They tried everything they could, from Hillary Clinton's Russian fake dossier to implicating Trump to Epstein, where they couldn't tie it together. And they had all the same information that they have they had back then. There's really been nothing new to the mix other than the testimony from Maxwell. I'm just going to turn this down just a little bit. It seems a little high. And but really all that is information that Maxwell had provided at her trial. And that's out there. That's for public consumption. So What is gained by this for the Democrats? They got Trump to reverse himself. All right. They got Trump to say that he's going to prosecute Democrats. All right. But what we're learning now, already just in the past week, is the Democrats that were involved with Epstein. Now, Trump has been under the microscope. There's nothing, that I'm aware. What do I know? I'm just saying that if there was information out there, it would have been leaked out somehow to the Washington Post, to the New York Times. This would have made its way if there was something really damning against Trump. So who's going to be hurt by this? The Democrats. Because one, now that it's released, it's no longer a platform for the Democrats to be screaming up and down, because Democrats have nothing. They have no solutions. They have no answers. They don't even have questions. And so now, once this is out there, it's no longer a thing. And now the president can really start picking apart at the Democrats from the core. Very foolish move by the Democrats, using Epstein as their, this is our secret weapon. It's not a secret weapon. It's your demise. You've actually opened your own Pandora box with this. And I'm sure there's going to be Republicans in there that have never been mentioned before. And I'm sure there's going to be high-level Democrats in there that are already being exposed. Inner circles in the White House under Obama, which also then is going to point towards Biden. And, Trump is going to say, hey, you know what? I don't know if these people did anything wrong, but I didn't want to release this because now they fall under the shadow of doubt and speculation, and tabloids are going to be picking up, and these people who might be good people are now going to be soiled. So Trump will be able to take a higher road than anyone else. And he's going to say, I told you this was going to happen. I told you the news media was going to do this. I told you because I know what they did to me. And they're going to do the same thing to these people. And it's just going to prove Trump correct. It's not going to prove anything other than Trump was correct. The Democrats lied. The Democrats weren't honest. The Democrats were not transparent. Going into 2026, you couldn't have asked for a better event to happen than this for the GOP. Because in that list are going to be some heavyweight donors who are going to go to the Democrats and go, and I'm sure they have been, going, if my name gets sullied around here, if it gets kicked around here, that's the last time you're ever going to see from me. The Republicans, on the other hand, were saying, hey, we're going to paint you in the best light we can, but this wasn't us, this was the other team. And, sometimes bad things happen to good people. This is not going to work out well for the Democrats. This was foolishly executed because they had nothing else to go with. And I will say, this will doom Jeffries, which will then doom Schumer. And you'll have, a Raskin in there who's a rabid liberal, fight to be, the minority leader in the House, and you'll have an AOC who will then run on Schumer's vacant seat. How do you think that's going to end up? Personally speaking, I don't think AOC could win in New York. I just don't see it in her little district, which is crime riddled and crime ridden. No jobs, crime. I don't think she'd be able to carry downstate at all, other than maybe Manhattan and the Bronx. But that's it. I can't see her carrying Albany, because all people will have to do is just say, hey, if you want to see what's happening in Roosevelt Avenue, that's going to be over here, and that's going to be over here, that's going to be in Rochester, that's going to be in Syracuse, it's going to be in Buffalo, Binghamton. It will be in a city near you after she is elected. I just don't see it happening. And I really hope that if she does decide to run, that they make her resign her seat in the House of Representatives. Don't give her a cushion to fall back on. Fight that, and fight it hard. She's trying to get 2 bites out of an apple where she should only have 1 bite. But the Epstein files now will be laid to rest. Now, they'll be running all over the place with it, but it's going to be on a lot of other people than Trump. And Trump gets to say, hey, I told you people why I didn't want to do this. He didn't want to believe me. And if President Trump was really sincere with that, if that was a sincere gesture on his part, what I would have done is I would have had Schumer and Jeffries and maybe a couple of the other strong Democrats come in for some coffee and cookies and let them look at those files and go, if you want this stuff out here, we'll put it out. But you might want to really read these files and look at this. And we compiled a list for you, and you can go through and look, make sure that we're not lying to you, which we are not. And then you'd have to say, yeah, we're fine with throwing these people under the bus and doing all that. And if he was really sincere about not wanting to have people's lives put under a microscope for no legitimate reason, I don't think that he was 100% disingenuous on that. But it was a good talking point for him to go to. And honestly, if there had been things in there that could really bring down Democrats, he'd toss it out there. He'd release it. He'd go, yeah, hey, this hurts them more than it hurts us. And, and maybe this guy that was doing something naughty on our team, maybe he needs to be taken out. Don't know what I don't know. But I could tell you, if I was thinking along the lines of a Trump, who does this hurt more? And I think that when he looked at it and they went through it, and his advisors told him, hey, listen, everything points in here to a cover up by Obama and Biden. They had this information. They didn't act on it. The time is now gone. He pardoned maybe some of these people. Who knows? Again, at least federally, it doesn't protect you civilly. But who knows? Who knows? But I think that Trump played the hand as best as he could play it. And he was dealt a good hand because he knew in his hand what was there and what the other people didn't know. Now, whether or not people high up in the Democratic Party knew what was in there from Obama and from Biden, and there might be some people in there that knew this stuff and just, keep it down. And the reason also that you might not release this information to people outside your inner circle is you give them credible deniability. I had no idea. That's another administration, but I had no idea. Would they have told me about this? Oh, I would have been outraged. But they didn't. So I'm finding out just like you're finding out. So, because you could have had some people on the other guy, other team going, hey, I had nothing to do with any of this stuff, but we're all gonna go down the toilet. I'm not going down the toilet because of something you did. So you don't know. And, politics. And Trump was not a politician when he was first elected. Oh, he is now. And how? And he was a quick learn. Democrats. You made him that way. I'm going to probably keep this to about 20 minutes today. I'm still not feeling well. The only reason I'm not sniffling as bad as I was yesterday is because I decided I'm going to take medicine. I don't like taking medicines, but I loaded up. It should be an interesting week. That probably by Wednesday or Thursday, when all the parties get to read everything and it gets digested, then it will be real newsworthy. But right now, is the way I said I look at it, he now took the bullet out of the gun of the Democrats. Fine, release it. Because now the Democrats have nothing more to go to, unless there's real meat in there for them to go to, which I would doubt it, because then Trump would have fought that tooth and nail. He would not have released it. So I have a feeling that just like with the shutdown, oh, you want to shut the government down? Well, we voted yes for this. Now, you voted no. So it shut down. But as soon as you agree to open this back up, we're in business. And they called Trump's bluff. No, I wouldn't want to play poker with Donald Trump. And I wouldn't want to go toe-to-toe with him. He'll take those punches. But when he hunts you and hits you, it's going to be like Mike Tyson hitting you. You're not going to know what happened an hour beforehand. That's going to be wiped out. You're getting crushed. And I think Donald Trump is very capable of crushing these people. We shall see. We shall see. Personally, I think it was a mistake releasing it. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have. But he has decided to change his tune on it, which he can do. But there's got to be a reason why. Got to be a reason why. So let's see what happens. All right. 21 minutes of this going out. Been trying to keep these down to 25 minutes or so. So there's other things going on in the news, but President Trump has agreed to meet with the mayor of New York. Well, the soon-to-be mayor of New York, and that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. But we'll see what happens with that. All right. As I always say at the end of my shows, please, please, if you can, give to a charity. If you're not comfortable with giving it to a charity because you don't know, is it going to go to where it's going to go? And, give to a food bank. Buy some food, give it to a food bank. And then while you're there, you ask, do you need anything else? Clothing? Do you need paper products? And, things of that nature, which they all do. And, of course, a food bank would take a cash donation because then they can, hey, we got 90 cans of the corn that was on sale. Thank you. Thank you. That won't go bad. But what we really need is a whole bunch of those little canned hams and meat, meat that comes in a can where these people can store it, whereas they might not have refrigerators or a working stove. They might need sandwiches. They might need, to come here and eat, that we can prepare the food. So food bank is good for food. They'll also love cash. Say a prayer. Prayer does work, regardless of what a Democrat might tell you. And with that, I'm going to be fading to black. Tonight is Monday, which means, come on, if you watched this show before, that's Socrates Station night. Monday's always a kind of slow night there, but they got Monday Night Football, and we sit at the bar, and we eat some bar food, and I'll have a drink. If I have more than that, it's an Uber ride home. Stay there for a couple of hours and drink. If you're in South Carolina, in the Myrtle Beach area, Socrates Station in Socrates, South Carolina, which is right between Murrells Inlet and Myrtle Beach and Surfside Beach, and it's a great little place to hang out. You wouldn't know it was there, but you'll see the big sign that says Socrates Station, and that's the restaurant in a strip mall. Fantastic. So that's where we'll be tonight. All right, everyone. Everyone enjoy. Be safe. And as I fade to black, I'll see you tomorrow.